Hello, everybody, and welcome to the compound. You're a scrapper, and you just got a reading on a very important item that the Bastion desperately wants. So now you have to investigate this hidden military compound in the woods that has been abandoned for many, many years. We are Team Garnet, and we have decided to lay out our levels a little differently so it's not so linear and more of a circular motion that the player goes through. So as you can see, there is one entrance into the compound as of now, leading to my level, the factory. My name is Christian Chamberlain, and welcome. So first things first, you have to find your way in. There's a wall blocking your way, but luckily there's a barrel that is there to destroy that wall. As you can see, this place is pretty abandoned. There's a lot of destruction, decay, some things blocking your path, which you can use various barrels to help clear that path. Once you get to this computer, you are notified that you need to find a different power source in order to turn it on, which then will unlock the doors for you to continue moving through the building. Each one of these walls is either hiding a path for the player to go on or a collectible for them to pick up. So if you destroy this door right here that is damaged, then it leads to the basement in which the player can further explore. Here you're introduced to the poison gas for the first time. You have to traverse through it. As you walk through, you hear the player coughing and taking damage. But there's the fuse hidden behind the gas, which you use to power on the computer. So now you have to make your way back up into the main room with the fuse. And as you're walking, you see various more destruction and a different viewpoint of the level itself. So now we've made it back towards the computer. Once we plug that in, it snaps into place. Turn on the computer. Ta-da, you did it. But now the main room is filled up with poison gas, so you can't traverse through there anymore. But the doors are now unlocked, which is indicated by the holographic text. So you destroy this wall, but this room is now filled up with poison gas, so you have to get through quickly. You use a barrel to destroy that window, and it clears the room of the gas. So now you've made it back to the main room, to the second locked door from the original entrance, and now you can interact with that and continue traversing forward and up. Here is the mastery of the barrels. You have to get across the catwalk to actually get to the roof of the building in order to further explore the compound itself. So once you're able to destroy this final wall, you'll see a piece of the ceiling has fallen, giving you a nice little ramp to the top. Now you're out, you kind of get a little bit more view of it. And if you see here, part of the wall is destroyed by a fallen radio tower, perfectly giving you a ramp to the bottom area, to the actual courtyard, which you can see here, which then leads to Robert's level.
Hi there, my name is Robert McShuffrey. I'm an online student, and my mission is called Back to School. The scrapper has been tasked with finding some EpiPens in an abandoned high school. In the first mission, the player is introduced to security cameras. They have to sneak past the camera. If captured, the player is going to be reset by this computer where they can interact with it, and that'll open the door again. That'll also get the camera to start searching for the player again. In the next room, the player will be practicing with the cameras. There are now 3 cameras in this room. The player will need to use stealth and patience to sneak past these cameras. There's an optional setup here, but it appears to be completely blocking any access. The camera is blocking any access to it. However, player will need to simply find an object and block the path of the camera. And now the line of sight is blocked, and the player may grab the collectible. It's not a mission critical collectible, so the player can choose to opt past if they cannot solve the puzzle. In this next room, the player will now be introduced to conduits. You can see the conduit here. If we approach the microwave, it says to use it, but something's missing. Okay, and we see a green ghost box there, and that tells us that something in that shape needs to be placed there. And now the microwave light has turned green. And oh no, we broke it, but that's okay. Let's go into the burning kitchen. We gotta avoid some smoke. This is a minor setup. Standing too long in the smoke will cause you some damage. There's a collectible in here if you are observant enough to grab it. You can blast down this wall with your grabnol, and you can escape from the kitchen. We now arrive at the upstairs hallway, where the player will be rewarded in the locker with a collectible, and then they can enter in the next room where they have to practice with the conduits. We can see that there are some missing pieces, and the door is closed. We have 3 boxes here. Why don't we check each box? No, not what I'm looking for, but I can see a collectible there. Nope, that one's empty. Okay. And here is where we find the missing conduit. Well, one of them at least. We notice another one is gone. A quick look around and go under the teacher's desk to find the other conduit. The sound jingles and the door opens. Great. The player now finds himself in the mastering security camera room. Okay. It appears to be that there's no way through, but just move the chalkboard and you can block the line of sight. The first mission critical objective can be found by interacting with this little door. You can open it and grab the first EpiPen. Okay. Now the exit appears to be blocked as the line of sight from the cameras is aiming on the doorway. I don't want to touch that, but I can see what looks to be like a seesaw setup. And I'll just grab my box here. And Gamer's Intuition tells you to do that. And the line of sight moves, and you can find a hidden collectible there if you'd like to grab it. And now the line of sight is no longer through the door, and we can safely pass through. Okay. Got a minor setup there. You want to move that door to create a little bridge. You have to crouch through. And you now find yourself in the final setup where you're mastering the security camera. You're mastering the conduits. Okay. Seems to be like there's no place for us to go, but I see a ghost box in the shape of a chair. I think that's what I want to do. Oh, and another ghost box appears. And I can grab this conduit here. And that'll extinguish the flames, blocking my path. I see a blue light. That's my health pack. I also grab one of the EpiPens upon touching it. And now my mission for grabbing EpiPens is complete. But I need to get out of this room. And there's the other hidden conduit piece. I want to bring it over. One of them is already connected, but the other one is not. I'll put it in place, and we can now find our way out. Okay? You'll notice that there's now a light over the exit, guiding the player out of the map, and the last collectible rewards their progress. And that is the end of my back-to-school mission. You can follow this path and hop up over the wall, if I can. Fall down, and we make it to the beginning of the next mission.
Hi everyone, this is Jeremy Andrews, and this is my level. This is the Hidden Lab, or Waste Not Want Not. Start by jumping onto the roof, into the hole in the ceiling, onto the staircase. Going down the stairs into the basement leads you to a fake generator on the wall, which is a door to a hidden laboratory. Entering the hidden laboratory, go down the stairs, pick up our introduction to the plasma cutter, put it on the pad, which opens the door, receiving a notice that Kraskow told you to bring it with you, as there are many doors that need to be opened inside the lab. Entering into the security checkpoint, the power is out, and there may be something that you need over on the desk ahead. Walking over to the desk, there is a blue keycard on the floor. You pick it up, enter the security hub, and put it in its slot, which reactivates the auxiliary power, allowing you minimal access to certain items. Entering the corridor, there's a sign leading to medical trials, pharmaceutical lab, and waste storage. Also, Kraskell told you to pick up the blue key card in order to access the green in the medical trials lab, which leads to the practice. Putting the blue into the slot will access the green key card behind the cabinet. Doing so will allow you to access to the red key card after going back down the corridor, jumping back over the overturned gurney, and picking up the plasma cutters to bring it to the practice mechanic for the plasma cutter, which is inside the pharmaceutical lab here. Putting it down opens the door into the pharmaceutical lab. Entering, there's a few collectibles to get, as well as the doors to the other rooms, and access to the red key card with the green key card. Picking up the red key card, you now must go to the waste storage door, open it, bring the plasma cutters with you by ducking under these boxes, picking up the plasma cutter, and then introducing yourself to the twist mechanic, which is using the plasma cutter and the key cards to access the ventilation systems, which allows you access to the first room of the experimental lab. After jumping over the boxes with the plasma cutter going down, putting the plasma cutter on the box to open the door, walking in, this is the final part of the level. Entering into the experimental lab, there's 3 separate corridors here. Each one is locked. Using the plasma cutter you can open them. However, you cannot access the next corridor without first having ventilated it. As the ventilation system is not fully activated, this will also activate the door mechanisms. Using the key card activates the light on the door at the end, as well as accessing the door to the next key card. Entering in here, putting in the green key card activates the green light. Now you must put the plasma cutter on the final door to open it, and you cannot fit the plasma cutter through the last door as you do not need it anymore to begin with. Entering inside, you put the red key card in its slot, which is the last door light you need, and the door opens. Inside, you'll find 2 of Kraskell's experimental medical notes that he requested for you to pick up for him at the Bastion. Exiting the level, pick up the false door, throw it away, and then go through the hidden tunnel, which will lead you into the next area. After going through the tunnel system and the cutscene, you will now enter into the next level.
Hey everyone, my name is Jordan Ezel, and this is the transition between Jeremy's level and my level, Unveiled Truth. They're currently walking up from the underground tunnels. They're going to interact with this gate to open it up. This gives them access to the library, which they were unable to access due to the gate being closed, which is directly across from the factory. Now once they come inside, this document is going to explain to them that the first mechanic is the copycat light, and they have to flash a flashlight at it in order for them to activate these kind of doors. This is the practice room where they're going in order to get another document that will lead them closer to reaching the basement, because the goal of this level is to find the head of Alethea, which is a robot that had plenty of information of the previous era. Now they walked over the stairs and they crumbled, which was the introduction to my crumbling mechanic. This room is my practice for that. The darkened tiles are crumbleable, and the lighter tiles are, you're able to walk on them without falling. Now the player here is judging not to go pick that up, seeing as they could probably fall through to the floor below. They're going to walk through, and then this will activate a cutscene, which will kind of give you a pan of the big library area, as well as kind of guiding the player um, to view the statues that they're going to have to turn on, as well as the pathway that they need to take. This ceiling piece can be moved, and they can walk on through. There's plenty of pictures and references to all kinds of different people that inspired us, to games that we played, all littered throughout the entire map. They can keep on going through here. There's a debris pile that they're running across. There's a bookshelf that can be moved here. And then they can crawl under, and this is my master mechanic, where the whole room will fall on you, and you need to make it out before it all crumbles and falls on you. So now you finally made it down to the main area where the statues are. You need to activate the statues in order for you to get to the archives, which is the basement. And from the basement, you'll be able to find the robot that you were looking for. Now, this isn't quite necessarily one of my major mechanics, but this was a spin-off of Christian's portion of the gas, and we allow you to collect a big treasure while you're getting your fusion coils, or fusion cores, to power on these statues. Each statue needs to be turned on, and it also independently has an action that is required for you to activate it, and you'll know that is activated once the light turns green on it. So the first one is the flashlight. It's a master version of the flashlight mechanic, allowing you to know that you need to flash your light at everything. The second one is a book. There's plenty of books around, so you just grab one and bring it to it. And the last one was the crouch. Once they're all done, it'll activate the elevator in the back corner here, so that the player can come and go down into it. The player will need to activate the door on their own. This archives is just full of tons of files and boxes. But here at the back is the robot, and once you grab his head, it'll create a state switch, and it'll activate this hidden elevator. The state switch crumbles everything and makes everything different in the first area, which we're about to see. So right now, everything in the first lobby area is all crumbled apart. The roof is fallen apart, and the only way of escape is out the door. This then transitions and shows that we're making progress, and we make it all the way over to the bastion, which is our end goal. And this concludes our presentation.